9 free pick winners in a row. Is that good? I'm not great at math. Is that not? I'm not sure I can count that high. What is? Let's go! What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Danny Brasco Bets. You are live and direct right here at Pick Profit. So now you can't leave. The heater continues on. I cannot be stopped right now. Free pick winners day after day. Hope you guys have been riding the train. Now let's humble ourselves. Apologize to the gambling gods. Refocus the energy, stay humble, stay focused, keep grinding. Can't start bragging now. The streak must continue. Let's go for double digits. Let's get number 10. You know, I just put out a free pick video, sent it to the video editor on Mavericks versus Pelicans tonight, and immediately the game gets postponed. So got to switch the vibe up. And then I realized to myself, what am I doing a free pick on basketball? There's a National College Football Championship on. So let's go in that one. Free play going to be looking at the Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. We got a championship game on. Got to make my free pick in that one. So let's dive into the data and see where we want to make our play on this one. Got a ton of great data analysis and statistics from my friends over at the Action Network. Going to be diving in, so rock with me here. A lot of good intel on this one. Here we go. Alabama, 12-0 straight up. 8-4 against the spread. Saban knows how to cover. Ohio State, 7-0 straight up. 4-3 against the spread. Let's look at the Buckeyes first. I mean, wow, what an amazing beatdown win they had over Clemson. Upset the Tigers in that one. Justin Fields played lights out. Trey Sermon, their running back, unstoppable in that one. No one could bring him down, and they played incredibly to get that upset victory. I mean, wow, I'm super impressed with them. Trey Sermon, couldn't bring him down. The dude was a man possessed. So, you know, let's take a look now. It's going to be interesting to see how Justin Fields' health is in this one. Took a huge hit, beast of a hit over the middle from Clemson linebacker James Skalski, their enforcer, their hard hitter. He got called for targeting and got bounced out of the game for that. Lowered his head, crown of the helmet into the ribs. Back in the day, looks like a hard-nosed blue-collar tackle light you up. Nowadays, you lower that crown of the helmet into any part, not just the helmet to helmet, but, any part of the body, and it looks like you're getting called for targeting. So he gets ejected. Fields recovers anyway, comes back in the game, ends up, doing really well, making some more big plays. Let's see how those ribs look in this one. He either broke a rib, bruised a rib, something, had some sort of, pain serum injection into him and was able to come back. Obviously, tough dude. Interesting to note here, especially if he gets sacked, if he takes a hard hit and the body hits the ground hard. We'll see how he holds up in this one. So, let's look at some data right away on this one. Despite an average of 8.5 yards to go on third down situations, the Buckeyes put up 639 total yards thanks to 22 of 28 passing mark from your boy Justin Fields and at 97 yards after contact by Trey Sermon. So they beasted. Even in third and long situations, Fields able to convert. Sermon, no one could bring him down. They got it done no matter what. Looking at their defense now, Tyreek Smith and Jonathan Cooper, defensive ends, have been two of the best ends at generating pressure in the game, and they were able to do so on Trevor Lawrence in that game as well. So defense, played really well as well. And the Buckeyes' best shot, really, if we're going to look at that end defensively, shutting down Alabama might come on third down. So we were talking about how they were converting a lot on third down. Well, maybe they can shut down the Crimson Tide on third downs of their own. Despite the Crimson Tide holding the top spot in the Power 5 conferences for average yards to go on third down, so they're usually in third and short situations, Ohio State sitting at 25th in the nation in opponent third down conversions. So they shut it down a lot of the time on third. However, on defense, to be fair, both sides, right? Two areas of concern for the Buckeyes are going to be missed tackles and passing coverage in the secondary. Ranked 35th in pass coverage by PFF. Free safeties Josh Proctor and cornerback Sean Wade posted the lowest grades against Clemson. That has been a critical data point for Ohio State all season long. They're giving up big plays. They rank 84th in opponent big plays through the air. So they're going to have to look to keep it in front of them in this game because obviously Alabama great at explosive plays, and it looks like Bama's going to have Jalen Waddle back. Devontae Smith, your Heisman winner at wide receiver, and Jalen Waddle now, that is scary. Over 17% of passes completed against Ohio State go for more than 15 yards. That's a pretty high clip. So they're going to have to focus on shoring up that secondary. They're going to have to generate pressure from the defensive ends, and obviously Justin Fields and Trey Sermon are going to have to get it done for them, continue converting third downs, and playing in clutch situations as they did against Clemson. Just keep on upsetting. Do we think Ohio State can pull off the upset or at least cover the spread? Sitting at a -9 now. I've seen a lot of movement. Interesting. I don't know. We'll see what we think. Now let's jump into Alabama here. Teasing you guys. Ride with me. Devontae Smith, your Heisman winner. Amazing. I know a couple people that bet on him at right before the season started. He was barely even on the board to be bet on. They just cashed in massively, tens of thousands of dollars on a little small bet on Devontae Smith, Heisman winner. Wow. We've seen Mac Jones just play phenomenal football all season long. Like I mentioned, Jalen Waddle is back. Wow. Najee Harris. I mean, I could just keep naming great offensive players. So, the Crimson Tide, their defense played its part in their win against Notre Dame in their last playoff game. And, the Irish did not have a single explosive drive in 10 possessions. That's important. Limiting explosive plays, defense stepping up for the Crimson Tide, and they really limited Ian Book, that dynamic quarterback, on Notre Dame. Although Ian Book had sustained drives with at least 2 first downs and over half the possessions that they had, the Irish could only capitalize in 2 of their 5 trips past the Alabama 40-yard line. So Alabama, once you get into their territory, shutting it down. Impressive stuff from them. Landon Dickerson may have influenced this game plan. Landon Dickerson is Alabama's arguably their best offensive lineman. And backup tackle Chris Owens stepped in at center in the Rose Bowl for the All-American. But he recorded the worst results in run and pass blocking of any lineman. So the reason I said that it may influence the game plan is because, they started running a lot of motion action, moving the pocket a lot. And so Mac Jones, he did come under a good deal of pressure, but once they moved the pocket and started running a lot of, mobile schemes for him, it kind of neutralized a lot of that pressure. So they may run that a little bit again, especially against some dynamic defensive ends that Ohio State's going to throw at them. So he's phenomenal under pressure. His stats against the blitz, under pressure, really good numbers for Mac Jones. However, and then on the defensive end for Bama, they've got some of the best secondary, in the nation. Patrick Surtain at corner, they can shut it down. So while Justin Fields is starting to really get it going, I can see once again, they're going to try to implement a plan to keep Bama in front of them, not give up that crazy explosive play. And I see Bama trying to do the same thing, of course. These guys are both extremely explosive. You got to be able to keep it in front of you. So the Buckeyes have the 23rd highest rate of 10-yard penalties as well. It's another stat I'm interested in. While sacks have been a season-long issue for them, they're giving up a good deal on that offensive line. But 23rd highest rate of penalties. So those can be drive killers. I'm looking at all sorts of stats going into this one. And, I just mentioned the sacks. Football Outsiders grades Ohio State 108th offensively in sack rate. So I'm putting together a lot of different stats. You're saying, Brasco, where are you leaning? You're throwing me, secondary stats, explosive play stats, penalty stats. Well, rock with me here. The total is historically high with an opener at 76.5 points at BetMGM. That's where they set the line over there. Total right now sitting at 76. Only the 2016 version of the championship final score eclipsed this current total. Derrick Henry led Alabama with 3 rushing touchdowns against Deshaun Watson's 4 passing scores. The game ended in a total of 85 points in that one. So listen to this here. I'm playing the game total. Only 10 postseason games have closed with a total of 76 or higher since 2008. And an even distribution. 5 games to the under, 5 games to the over. No big edge over there. Both Alabama and Ohio State have decimated the competition from an offensive perspective, ranking top 10 in 50-plus yard drives and drive scoring percentage. So, what am I playing here? Well, the Buckeyes with their penalty rate, Bama with their corners. The championship game with adrenaline going favors the defense in my mind. Yeah, you might need a seatbelt in this one to hang on because they're both extremely explosive, but if Fields is injured at all and Sermon is their guy, they're going to have to lean on the run. Of course, he can just shred right through the defense, but I think Bama's obviously going to game plan for that. Their secondary can hold up. They did so against Notre Dame. They're going to look to make a point of stopping the run. Penalties can maybe kill drives for Ohio State. I'm afraid of playing the spread in this one because, even Notre Dame had the backdoor cover against Alabama. Ohio State might be getting a lot of public money here. So I'm going to play the under in this one. Set at 76. It's just a shade too high for me. That's a crazy number. And in a national championship game, I got to think that defenses are going to come to play. These coaches are going to really try to scheme against each other in really creative ways. And I'm saying defenses come to play today. So it may be close, and you might have to hang on, maybe bite down on something. It's going to be a scary bet. But for number 10, for the free pick streak to keep it alive, I'm going with under 76 total points to be scored in this national championship game. Good luck to everyone tailing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hope we can all win on this one. Let's go get this bread. Let's keep the streak alive. Booyah, Kasha!